Okay. So yeah, he slides you a beer and he lets you know that town wasn't always like this, but with bigger crowds, stranger stuff seems to happen.
Well, I had me a nice night last night over at Fat Linda's.
Hell
Rose,
yeah.
she's a good girl.
Yes, she is. I've been with her a time or two myself. Um, so
If
as
Brother Fly
as y'all were
wasn't sick, he'd have something to say about that. But yes,
yeah. So as y'all were sitting there, make me a notice roll. Binks,
Okay.
you still at the Undertaker's office, correct?
Yeah, I think I was helping him construct
Coffins.
some coffins.
All right. So yep, give me a notice roll from both of you.
Just them two?
Yes, you're in
Okay.
you're not in the thing.
7.
Right.
So um
Clicked it. It's still taking a while to get up in there.
well, okay, well with a 7 Quartermain, you notice that the guy that's sitting at there it is. Well, no, that's his roll. The guy that's sitting at the table over here, he just starts to double over and he's like, "Oh God." It's like, "Bog, what'd you put in that stew?" "Oh, my guts feel like they're about to bust out."
With
And
a
also
7,
this
do I
guy,
notice what he's drinking?
he is, it's a tin cup. You don't know what it's in there.
Okay.
But he seems to think it was the stew, and we still don't have your roll. But
Okay, let me try again.
all right,
Well, you know what? I'm clicking the skill itself.
yeah,
That we're
click the
supposed to
little
do?
dice beside it.
Okay.
Oh, I clicked the skill.
Uh, I think he's in the big thing. There you go. You noticed, Colonel Angus. You noticed this guy. You don't really notice this guy, but you notice
Okay.
this guy. He's starting to wince a little bit. Ooh, and he starts to burp. He lets out this big belch.
Yeah.
And then he,
Did you have the stew as well?
no, I did not. And he falls back off of his chair there,
Okay.
and he just starts foaming at the mouth. And this guy falls out of his chair, and he starts foaming at the mouth also, and starts convulsing and stuff. And they're just laying on the ground convulsing. What do y'all want to do?
I'm gonna roll him over so he doesn't choke on his vomit. Just, I mean, I don't have any like training, but I'm gonna pat him on his back and try to get it out of him.
Okay, so as you do that, you start patting him on the back, and you notice his shirt around his abdomen area starts to bulge out, starts to scrape out, and then all of a sudden this pops out of his abdomen, and then out of this one too. And they're
Oh
they're
my
probably
God.
around they're probably around fist-sized creatures that look like ticks, and they just pop out when it looks at you, and it goes. I need everybody to make a fear or a spirit roll at a -2.
Okay. By the way, could you raise my strength up on my
Oh, I'm
character
sorry.
sheet?
I'm sorry. Uh, your strength should be a D6 now, correct?
Right.
All right.
I got one penny left over from last
Yep.
previous, and then we get 3 for this game, right?
Yep. But you
If
can't
you
use the
live.
ones from this game until
Okay.
to buy anything until after the game.
Hear you. Okay.
All right. So everybody needs to make a spirit roll that's in there.
All right.
Angus, you have seen the sights of war, so this does not bother you at all. How about you, Quartermain?
I'm gonna be wrecked.
Yeah. So you are shaken. Actually, is there what else is there? There's let's see. Get back into the right layer. Yeah, you are stunned.
I'm stunned.
All right. So stunned means. I don't know what stunned means, but we'll find out. Stun means you are distracted. This removes event on next turn. You are vulnerable. You fall to your prone. You don't actually fall prone. I'm not gonna make you fall prone. You can't move or take actions, and you don't count towards gang up bonus. All right, so you are stunned until the end of your next round.
So what's the difference between stunned and shaken?
Shaken is you're stunned. And shaken you take a -1, or I don't know. Have to look it up.
I don't know.
Let's look it up.
What's the bartender's name again?
Something Boggs.
Okay. Well, Mr. Boggs, you'll pardon me if I decline the beer this afternoon.
All right, so we're gonna give everybody add turn. Add turn. I'm gonna move you a little bit, Quartermain, so I can add your turn, and then we'll move you back, and then deal 1 card. Quartermain's in there twice. Let's redo this whole thing then. Add turn. Add turn. Add turn. That's not wrong. Deal 1. All right.
I got an ace.
Yep, that means you go first.
All right. This fella I was trying to help. Did that thing come out of his mouth or did it bust out of his stomach?
It busts out of something. Think aliens.
Okay. So does he look like he's a goner?
He's got a big old gaping hole. It's gonna take some major healing to fix that.
All right. Okay, which I do not have.
Yeah.
So Angus will take out his cavalry saber.
All right.
And strike the large beetle that come out of his chest.
All right. His parry. All right. I'm sorry. I'm not going to tell you what his parry is, but that wouldn't be fair. That misses.
Okay.
So as you slice down with your saber, the thing just kind of skitters out the way, and it looks up at you and it hisses. It actually jumps towards you. It jumps towards your face.
Okay.
And it's gonna claw at you. What is your parry?
Parry's a 5.
So it misses you.
So I hold up my saber and block it.
Yep. So this one, actually, that would have been that one that went up to you. This one's going to go up and do this exact same thing. So as you knock the first one down, the second one jumps at you in succession, and
oh my god!
So it actually latches onto your face. It's only about the size of your hand, but it covers your whole face, and you can feel it start to try to pry your jaws open as it does what it's doing. What is your toughness?
Toughness is a 5.
So it meets, it beats. So
my jaw has been through worse than this.
so it is currently just latched onto your face, and it is still there. Brandon, you are
stunned.
Yeah, you go ahead and you can. I guess you can out of it at the end of this round. So
yeah. So I basically just sacrifice my turn.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my turn again.
Well, how about that?
Yep.
All right, go ahead.
All right. Well, Brandon just shakes off all his fear and puts all that energy towards something more productive.
All right.
Apparently not.
All right. Yeah. So these are that normally would hit, but these are small creatures, so they get a
Yep.
+2 to their
Mm-hmm.
being shot at.
Okay.
And I'm assuming you weren't shooting at the one that was on Colonel Angus's face,
No.
right? Okay. Just making sure. All right, Colonel Angus.
Then
it's your go.
I'm gonna reload as well.
All right. Binks, whenever you get finished, let me know.
Okay, I think I'm on the right track here.
Right.
Mhm.
My right hand is gonna grab one side of it, and I'm gonna try to hit him on the other side with the saber to get this thing off of me.
All right. So that's going to be 2 actions, but that is fine. The first action is going to be try to get the thing off of you. So make me.
It's kind of like a grapple.
Yeah, make me a strength roll.
Okay.
We're going to do opposing, so it'd be a 3. So if you beat a 3, you do. You beat it with a 4. So as you grab it, you just kind of grab it and kind of peel it off, and it just scratches your face as it comes off. And you could. Do you want to keep it in your hand, or you throwing it on the floor?
Yeah, I'm throwing it off on the floor.
Okay.
And the follow up with the saber.
All right, that's fine. A 4 that hits. So as you throw it on the floor, it's laying on its back, and you take your saber and just stab through it, and it's so yeah. Give me a. Actually, no, that does not hit. I'm sorry. Its parry is a 5. So as you throw it on the floor, and you go at it with your saber, it goes to the side and goes back to another side, and you just miss it on all your attacks. This one is going to run by you and jump onto this guy, and it's going to make a attack at him and miss, and the other one's going to make an attack at you and miss. All right, so let's deal some more cards. All right, Quartermain.
Okay, so this one's still attached to his face or no?
No, he threw it on the floor.
Okay. So I'm gonna move a little bit over here,
All right.
and then try and shoot it again.
All right.
Do something, you failure.
Eight. That will hit.
Die.
And you can go on your character sheet and take that distracted off. You're not distracted any longer.
Okay.
8 is not a raise though, but 6 damage. Yep, that kills it. So as you take aim at the thing, as it darts back and forth across the floor, you kind of pull up your rifle and follow it a couple of seconds, and then you just let off a shot, and it just pops and blood goes everywhere. Give me a second. This one is gonna attack this guy again.
I'll also reload, and I'll call out to the colonel. Now you owe me one.
And these things suck, man. And he misses, and he's just gonna jump down and skitter off behind the piano. So he's hiding behind the piano. Colonel Angus, it's your go. Everybody make me a notice roll. Carlton. Sir?
I was going to ask, am I hearing any of these gunshots or anything?
Well, I'm fixing. That's what I'm saying. Make me a notice roll.
All right. Notice.
And through all this combat in there, you didn't notice a thing. Colonel Carlton, you didn't notice anything. Colonel Angus, though, you did hear a girl from the saloon yell.
Every time you shot, it must have been whenever I was hammering a nail or something.
It's like, wow. Man,
Bang.
this hammer is loud this morning. All right, Colonel Angus, it's your go. Colonel Angus?
He's muted.
Sorry, I forgot I was muted.
That's okay.
Is there can I see where that scream came from?
No, but it came from across. You know, it came from. It was a lady's scream, and it came from across the road. So you can only, common sense would tell you that it came from Fat Linda's.
Okay. Oh, I'll run out there then.
Don't forget, there's a tick behind the piano.
Yeah, there is in there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's up to y'all. But he ran off after all the commotion.
I'm gonna run out. I'm gonna say, Quartermain, you get that last tick. We'll go see if that lady's okay.
All right.
How many squares can I move?
Well, if you can move up to you can move up to 6, and then if you want to move it any further, I think you hit the run button on your character sheet, and that tells you how much further you can run.
Okay. Where's the run button?
It is running. So if you're looking at the short sheet, the short sheet, it's under derived, and it should say running like 1d6 or something.
All right.
So 10 more squares.
All right. So 3, 4, 6, 1, 5, 6,
Like how it
7.
says 10 inches.
Yeah, so I can run right in there.
All right. So but I think that's all your moves, right?
It was 8 actually.
But you moved twice, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can take a hit at a -4.
All right, let's do it. I'm shooting them this time.
Oh, okay. So it's gonna be at a -8. No, -6. Excuse me.
Okay. I can't. All right, then I don't want any additional negatives. So let's just go.
Well, it's -4 from running and then shooting, and then it's going to be a -2 because of his size, because he's smaller than most things, so he's harder to hit.
What if I'm using my saber?
Then it's just -4 because
So
you had to run over there and attack.
Running, hit him with the saber.
All right. That hits. The wild die is a hit and a raise. So roll damage and you get that extra damage. So 8 damage. That will do it for that one.
All right.
Is that whose go? Isn't that's everybody's go this round? All right. So you got the Black Joker.
The reason Colonel Angus did that was remember his code of honor.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he felt like the lady was in danger, so he had to do something. He couldn't just stay in there.
That's cool. So it's your go again, and any damage that you do is double this round.
My go again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. What do I see in the room after I just killed that one?
The cowboy that was beside it, he's dead. Let me put an X on it. With I've already got an X on him. The guy with the X on him, his belly's busted open just like the other guy was.
Okay. Does that other fella look like he's about to bust?
No, he seems fine. He's scared, but he's standing up straight.
Right. Colonel Angus is gonna yell, All right, this one's dead. The rest of you ladies okay?
And then Fat Linda walks up and she says, "Would you care for a cup of tea?" No, all of them are kind of hiding up under the table and beside, and she she's like, "We're fine, honey. Thank you."
Yes, ma'am. And he'll just nod at her and then go back outside.
So you notice that this guy is laying on the ground, and his entrails are busted out also. Make me another notice roll, Carlton. Oh yeah, you heard it this time. You heard the man down the street near the church make his dying death throes. Colonel Angus, is there anything else you want? You haven't even moved this round, so you get to go.
Okay. I'm wondering if this had something to do with the fried chicken. Do these people who burst open look like they were some of the people I saw in church?
At the moment, you really cannot tell because you haven't examined any of them. The guy that was in the saloon, you remember seeing him at church, but you didn't really examine this guy much. You just ran in, stabbed a tick, and ran back out.
60 feet with a pistol. Is that a modifier to hit?
Let's look. What's the... Oops. 48 is the max on a pistol.
Okay. Then I will.
Well, no, wait. That'd be 48 squares, right?
Yeah.
What's 48 times 5? Somebody do me some quick math.
Quick math.
That'd be 240.
240.
So that 240 feet would be a hard shot. That'd be almost a football field with a pistol.
Well, you know what? I think it's in the short because 5 times 12
would be
is 60.
Yeah.
So still my short range.
Yeah, you're still in short.
Okay, so I'm gonna take the peacemaker out.
All right.
And shoot that tick.
Go ahead.
Well.
As you shoot it, boom, it hits the dirt in front of him and just goes off. Quartermain.
All right, so this one behind the piano is still hiding behind the piano.
Yeah, it's hiding. You can't see it. You imagine it crawled up under the piano and lodged itself in between the wall and the piano.
Okay. So if I was to kind of go into this space and like peer against the wall, would I see anything?
Yeah, you can see it.
Okay. Is it like partially obscured by the piano, or would it be able to get a decent shot at it?
It is
with some sort of a disadvantage.
It would be hard. It would be hard for you to get your rifle back there to shoot it. And as you walk over there and start pointing your rifle down towards the wall and piano, he said, Boggs says, "Don't shoot my piano. I paid $500 for that thing."
Mm-hmm. Quartermain will just say, "Fine, you kill it."
All right.
And he's just gonna leave.
Okay. All right. The ticks go. How far can they run? They can do 8 and plus a 1d6. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And he's going to stay there off this one. Oops. Oop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's his go, and then we will redeal. Colonel Angus, you'll go. Ooh, there's gonna be some ill people tomorrow. Oh, did you shoot again, Colonel Angus? Oh no. She'll go, Colonel Angus. You're probably
He's
muted again.
muted. Crunching them chips.
Yeah, that's why.
That's fine.
Okay. Turn.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Right. If I aim, does that mean I can't take the shot until the following turn?
Until the following turn. Yep.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna
All
aim while it's running towards me.
Yes.
I'm just gonna point my pistol and get a real good beat on it, and it's turn.
All right. That's fine. So this one's gonna move up to you, and hold on, let's do this so we know you're aiming. Oh, there was a target. You're aiming. Okay, so this one is going to attack you. 5 does not hit, I'm guessing. This one's
Beats it.
so it does get you.
Does not get me.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. Good. So this one is going to. He's going to attack this farmer here, or the nope, and miss. Boy, I tell you what. All right, Carlton. You hear commotion out in the streets.
All right.
There's a door right here. You can go out.
Run out, and I see. I'm guessing these things run around.
Yeah, this guy. There's a guy. There's a tick that's latched to the guy's face. Oh no, he didn't. He didn't hit. So there's a tick crawling up this guy, and then this one looks like it's going towards.
Okay, what is my range? Well, so he's. You said there was a guy under here?
Yeah.
Okay, so won't be going for that. What in tarnation's going on out here?
You see Colonel Angus pointing his gun at this tick that's approaching. That's like zigzagging, going forward, and he's just kind of aiming his pistol at it.
It's like the size of what, like a chicken?
Yeah, chicken.
My movement there, and within 12 blocks there, so
Yep.
I will pop a shot at that one that he's pointing at. Hopefully, can hit it.
No, because it's
So
got
I have-
-2.
So if it's what's got a -2?
You have a -2 on your rolls because it is smaller than a normal thing, like normal human.
Okay.
So, all right, Quartermain. As you walk out of the inn or the Bog's Hole Saloon, you see this commotion going on in the streets. Damn it, I didn't mean to open it. Oh well.
Yep. Would I be able to see this one behind the horse, or is it kind of just?
Well, it's on a person.
Oh.
Yeah, I've got him over the person, but it's like running up around the back of this guy and trying to get into his face.
Okay. Well,
you can aim if you want to and try to shoot it.
Well, I'm gonna get on the other side of the horse first.
Okay.
So.
You can't aim this round if you move. So you can't if you're trying to take the aim action, you can't do anything that round.
Oh, like drawing a bead is your whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just gonna shoot it.
Okay, that's fine. It is on another person, so
it's more difficult. Well, if I don't stop him, he's a goner anyway. So
Okay.
Worth a shot.
Oh yeah. Oh well. -2.
Nice.
Are you still distracted?
oh no,
No,
that was
he's
a long
not.
time ago.
Is it still on your sheet though?
No, I took it off. I'm no longer stunned.
Well, when you hit stunned, it pops the other two up. If you take off stun, the other two are turned on.
Yeah. So you would actually had a 9, I believe. Let's see what it rolled. 1d10.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. It does say
I don't know how
-2.
that math works.
Okay.
So yeah. All right. So you do hit him. So it crawls up on the shoulder, and you level your rifle, and you just take you take a shot, and it just you just go ahead and roll damage. Let's see which damage is going to be.
7.
Yep. So you shoot it off this guy's shoulder, and that guy just looks at you, and you just everybody give me a notice roll that can see this guy.
Carlton's gonna duck. Holy crap!
So anybody gets a 4 better, notice this guy's just wet his pants. So he's sitting there, and he's just his eyes are like big as teacups, and and piss is just rolling down his pants where he just he just pissed his pants because one, he had this giant ass tick on him, and the second one, it just got blown off of his shoulder by a drunk guy with a rifle. So that was the end of the turns, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, red Joker.
Nice. Get anything special for getting a Joker?
It's double damage.
Nice.
So
I
sure
think
go.
I'll probably blow it away anyway if I hit.
Yep.
All right, so I am popping off the shot.
All right. So you get a +4. You get a +2 because it'd be -2 for the size, but then +4 for hanging. So go ahead and roll.
5.
5 will hit it.
All right. I think I took the aim.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
3 points of damage.
Yeah. You obliterated it.
The crater in the ground.
All right. So after all of the hullabaloo going on outside, you kind of look at Carlton, and then you look at Quartermain, and y'all all kind of look at one another. What are y'all gonna do?
All right. I see Quartermain across the street. I go, what the hell are these things?
Are you seriously asking me?
Yeah. What the hell are these things?
I don't know.
Just bust out of these fellas' stomachs in the saloon.
I always knew that bar food was rotten, but this might be a bit much.
And then Rose comes out of the place, and she's like, "Oh, Colonel Angus, thank you so very much. I was talking to the fella in there. His name was Harold. He's a miner, and all of a sudden he started acting weird and foaming at the mouth, and then that creature broke out of his abdomen. It was so very scary."
Oh, what a horrible thing for you to endure, Miss Rose. I'm sorry you had to see that.
Well, thank you, Colonel Angus. Come back and see me tonight.
Most definitely, Miss Rose.
Do y'all want to examine the bodies?
Yeah, Carlton's definitely gonna. But
All right.
Well,
Yeah.
Carlton, you didn't
Quartermain's gonna go back inside the bar and see if the bartender's dealt with that one behind the piano.
So when you go back into the bar, let me get back on the right. Yeah, I'm on the right way. When you get back into the bar, you see the bartender and the piano player. They both got brooms, and they're like trying to get a rat out from behind something. They're shoving it and trying to get it out, but it's just holed up back there.
Yeah.
All right, Carlton, you're gonna examine the body. This guy's no, he didn't die. You examining the tick's body?
Since it's out here, and then afterwards, I'm gonna go check out a human body.
Okay, well, give me a medicine roll or a healing roll or a science roll.
I've got healing science and weird science.
You can use either one. Okay, with a 7, you know as you kind of take your little Bowie knife and you kind of turn it over. I mean, are you grabbing it with your hands and touching it and looking at it, or are you kind of being?
Hell no.
Okay, so you take your Bowie knife and you kind of turn it over, and it looks like what a tick that you would find on an animal, just bigger. Yeah.
Okay.
But this one was. You can still see like some entrails hanging off of it as it busted out of the gut. So you know it probably came out of something.
Right. And Rose said that there was somebody that exploded inside the poorhouse,
Yep.
so I'm gonna go check out the body.
All right. So as
Excuse
you
me,
walk
Colonel
in,
Angus.
there's a couple of girls trying to console him. This guy is still alive.
Oh, okay.
He is not doing very well, but he is still. That Rose would be over here with Colonel Angus.
Can I try a healing roll?
Yeah,
See
go
if I
ahead.
can-
Try a healing roll. See if it
help him out there.
Okay, wow. With that healing roll, you are able to shove his guts back inside of his body somewhat. And there's no dock in town. So you tell the girls to go get you some needle and thread, and you're gonna try to sew him up just as much as you would know how to. Do you know how to sew?
I know healing roll. I mean,
but do you know how to sew? I mean, so you grab some stuff out of your saddlebag. You run down.
I have
the
a
street.
doctor's kit or a doctor's bag.
Okay. Well, if you've got a doctor's bag, then okay. We'll say
I've only done this on dogs. Sit still.
So, you do that, and he's got to make a vigor roll.
Hold on.
Uh-huh.
Colonel Angus is going to go in there and try to help.
Okay.
He's going to take out his hooch bottle and give the guy a couple of shots to try to endure the pain.
Okay, I'll give him a +1 of that vigor roll then.
And also, he's going to take a look at the guy and see if he recognizes him from church.
Okay, give me 1 second to make this vigor roll. Okay. So he kind of straightens up and so he looks like he would be able to do it. And you do notice him as being one of the guys from church. He as you look at him and you look at his arm, and he was the one that actually cut himself and squeezed the blood into the pool.
Okay. All right. Say to the guy, your name, boy.
And he can barely talk. He's like, John.
Not sure how long we can keep you alive. I'm real sorry this happened to you. Whatever this was. Think it had something to do with that special fried chicken y'all had a few minutes ago?
I don't know. It just come on awful quick.
Well, what are you talking about, chicken?
We had this ceremony down at the church, communion. Like communion I never seen. My time going to church, I never heard part where Jesus passed out a bucket of chicken out of his blood. That's but they kind of like it kind of had something to do like that.
Carlton, make me an occult roll.
What?
Because I think y'all made the occult roll in the church that day, right?
Yeah, I didn't go to church.
Yeah, but now learning this,
That's what did.
5.
5.
You know of stories of the city of Lost Angels having rituals like this, that they fed the whole city over rituals like this. They would,
Huh.
yeah. So you heard of this going on?
Sounds like a eat of my body kind of a scenario.
Yes, almost cannibalistic in nature. You've heard of stories of them like chopping a finger off and throwing it into a brazier or something, and then out of that brazier comes plenty of food.
Huh. And this guy's doing all right.
Um,
We go,
uh,
where can we find that pastor of yours when he's not at the church?
they spend a lot of times up there in the mountains.
Where exactly?
That I don't know. They leave town every Monday mornings and or before, and then they spend all week up there, and they usually come back on Saturday nights. They bought a wagon and a whole bunch of not farming gear, mining gear, like they's looking for something. Bought a dynamite and everything else. Give me 5 minutes, guys. I got to pee. I'll be right back.
All right, so Angus describes to Carlton and the ceremony a little bit more about how the guy cut himself, the blood into a thing, and they had food come out of it. Drank the blood and they passed the chicken around.
Are they still over at the church, at the chapel?
No, the service is over. I left. I wouldn't partake of it. Neither did the pastor because I knew something was wrong there. Pretty blasphemous.
I might have
They
to,
did not try to stop us, so I did not feel like I was in danger.
might have to take a visit to this church. First, are there any other
All right, I'm
of
back.
these victims still alive?
What did I miss?
Describe to him the ceremony that happened at the church.
Oh, okay.
I say, so do you think it's connected?
Well, they just put something in them and something just came out of them, so it sounds could be. Where are the other people that these things came out?
Some in the saloon. One of those guys I did recognize from church also.
There's a guy down here.
There's a guy down the street. We'll go check out the guy down the street.
Yeah, I'll go see if he's still kicking.
All right, give me a healing roll to see if you want to.
See if I can do anything for him. 4.
What did you get before? I think you got a 5 before? You got a 10 before.
Last time I got a 10.
Yeah, this doesn't This guy's on his last breath. He's shuddering. He's not gonna make it.
All
But
right.
Colonel Angus, you do give give me a common knowledge roll just to see if you remember all the faces that were in church that day.
Okay, just a second. Common knowledge.
I don't want to do a notice roll because that would be notice of that day. So your character does not notice if this guy was in church that day.
Okay. I can't be expected to remember everybody in there.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
All right, then I'll pop over
Does-
to the
However, does he look like he was dressed for his Sunday best?
He does look like he was dressed in Sunday clothes.
It's a possibility.
Go ahead and give me a knowledge. I mean,
11.
no, he's dead too.
5.
Give me another one for this guy over here. Or whichever one you didn't heal. When the hell did that D20 come from?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
so
it's my color, but I don't.
Yeah.
I didn't hit it.
so you
5
didn't
and a
get him
5.
yet. Yeah.
All right.
So these guys are dead. You did manage to save one.
So that's 3 dead.
Yeah.
All right. I'll pop out Quartermain, and I'll yell down to the Undertaker. Hey, boss, you got 3 incoming today.
And the sheriff comes and walks out and he goes, "What the hell is going on now? What kind of butchery has been happening on my streets?" Anybody want to tell him what's going on?
Yeah, Colonel Angus will come down there.
Carlton's just gonna walk past and start helping the
Sheriff.
Undertaker.
All right.
I was meaning to come talk to you today anyway. Because we gonna head out after the Maggie-Bar boys. But just about as we was about to do that, people just had like these big ass bugs burst out of their stomach. It's the size of chickens. It's exploding out of people's stomachs and attacking people. And to get on your face and do some other stuff. I don't know what. My associates killed them. People dead though.
Any idea where they had come from?
Huh?
Other than the bellies of these people?
Had a real strange Sunday service over there at that church of them Red Waters. They had this communion service where like guy like drained the blood out of his arm and all of a sudden fried chicken come out of it, right? And they passed it around and people drinking the blood and eating that fried chicken. Me and my pastor buddy, brother Fly, we decided to decline and left the church. I'd recognize some of these fellas from church, including the one inside Fat Linda's, the one who cut his arm and put it in the blood. He was also a victim. That's the only reason I think that like something funny was in that chicken.
Let's was the chicken old? Did you smell it?
No, I stayed as far away from it as I could.
So it couldn't have been rotten chicken.
Doubt it was.
I've heard scientist types be talking about when stuff goes bad, these little bugs be getting on it called parasites.
Yeah.
You reckon these is one of these parasites? And he goes over there and takes a shotgun and kind of pokes this thing around.
I don't think it was as simple as all that. I think something evil going on over that church. It's me.
Well,
Got a
it's gonna
real
be
bad
kinda
feeling
hard.
at that service.
It's going to be real hard to run these folks out of town as much of a following as they've got. Hell, we get people coming to town spending money just to go to church. But if you want to pursue it, I can't stop you.
Yeah, well, I ain't gonna be able to do it alone for sure.
Where's your preacher friend?
He wasn't feeling good, but he's up in his hotel room.
Hope he doesn't have a parasite.
He didn't partake of that communion, so I think it was just something else.
Okay.
Of course, could go check on him.
That would be
So
one
if
way
you
to
want to
do
go
a
check
session.
on him, huh?
Be like, so what happened while I was gone? Oh, a parasite
What?
came out of you and we had to kill it. And you.
And you, nah. You go check on him. He's got this real bad headache. He's sweating. He's got a fever, stomach ache, but I don't think he says he doesn't think it is. He said that he's had this before. He promises nothing's gonna pop out of his belly. So
So I don't know why the church would want to kill off its congregation like that. But maybe these ticks were supposed to do something to some folks before they got killed. I don't know.
So they start a little cleanup in town. There's several people that come out here and they roll this barrel out and they come and pick these ticks up with like these two long sticks and I'll put them all in the barrel. And one of the guys walks up to Carlton and he says, "You the most scientific type we know in this town. What do you suggest we do with these bugs?" Excuse me.
I'm going to.
He's got the barrel of bugs right here.
I'm gonna get another one of my little vials out of my doctor's bag. Put some
Alright.
of the blood in there. Is it black like the other blood?
No, this blood is greenish colored. It's almost got a glow, kind of like the ghost rock glow.
Right. Take it somewhere downwind and burn it.
All right, sure thing, sir. Thank you very much for your help today. And he rolls the barrel on off into the sunset, and you smell burning flesh later on that day. And the Undertaker walks up to Carlton and he says, "Well, looks like we got to build 3 more today. You care to help, or are you gonna be busy trying to figure out what's going on?"
Let me check with my companion. I'll get back to you.
Oh, all right. So the sheriff, he gets a couple of town folks to get the bodies over to the morgue to get done what has to be done. There should have been 4 bodies. Oh no, one guy lived.
I'll tell that one fella who survived.
He didn't even say thank you.
Well, he's about to die. So what did you say, Colonel Angus?
The one fella who survived, Colonel Angus, is going to tell him. Now, you see any of your other townsfolk who went to church with you, you warn them about what happened and tell them, be careful. You're not sure whether the incident was related or not, but it might be.
He says, if you think it came from the church, you best believe I won't be going back.
Just saying, if you run into your fellow townsfolk.
Sure thing. I don't think I'll be running into anybody. I think I'm going to be laid up here for a while.
Okay.
He's going to take real good care of me. She's supposed to be bringing me a couple cups of tea as it is.
What time of day is it right now?
It is getting to be later in the day after all the examining and talking to the people and the sheriff
Right.
and the undertaker and everybody else. It's getting to be a little bit later in the day. We're gonna say around 6 o'clock, and since it's towards the winter time, it's gonna start to be getting dark.
Probably dark already.
Yeah.
Carlton's gonna head over to church and see if he can get in and check out that brazier or whatever it was.
Yourself?
Anybody else want to go with him?
I'll go with him.
All right. So as y'all make your way to the church, there's one guy that you do notice from the church service standing there at the door. And as you approach, he says,
Right.
Can I help your partner? Church is on Sundays. You done missed it today. Have to come back next week.
Yes, sir. Is this your building?
No, sir. It's the town's building, but I'm overseeing it right at this moment, making sure no ne'er-do-wells break in and steal from the offering plates, if you know what I mean.
Well, I can assure you I'm no ne'er-do-well.
Well,
But I'd appreciate a tour.
You have to talk to Mr. Brother Wise and Brother Strong if you want to get in the church before services.
Absolutely. Are they around right now?
No. Hold on a second, Mr. What's your character's name? I'm sorry.
Banks.
Binks. All
Carlton.
right.
Carlton, yeah. Binks.
Hold on, Carlton. I got a little something special for my friend right here. I walk over to him, unsling my double barrel sawed-off shotgun, and hold it right up under his chin. Go.
Go ahead
You
and
don't
give me
get
an
up in this
intimidation roll.
church.
Give me an intimidation roll. And I got to roll spirit. That's not the Undertaker, but it's got the same stat, so I'm just going to roll
4.
a 4. Two. He says, "Listen, mister, I ain't wanting no trouble. They just told me to keep people out of here until church service.
Oh,
Go on in there, then. Here's the key." And he hands you the key.
right. And I throw the key to Binks, but I keep an eye on guy right here. I go, I'll stand guard right here. You go take a look.
I'll be right back. Thank you.
All right.
And Binks is going to unlock the door and walk in cautiously.
Like cautiously, as in trying to sneak in, or
Go.
Yeah, but not look like a cartoon spy sneaking around. Just quietly and confidently.
okay.
And as he's
I did not mean to do
walking, he's taking a look around to see if there's anything that he would recognize as some kind of paraphernalia or artwork or anything that might have been used in some kind of culty stuff.
that. Give me a. Well, when you get to the altar, you go start looking around the altar. Give me a notice roll.
Notice.
A 5. Okay, so on the altar is a Bible, a normal Bible.
Okay.
Do you read through it, or do you flip through it?
Yeah, I guess I'll see which passage they were, or which
Okay.
which
So
book they were in, and then
as you start flipping through the Bible, you see a bunch. I'd like say about 20% of Scripture is marked out in red ink, and then above it is other stuff written in over the top of it. While
is
you're
the other stuff in
go ahead.
English, or is it like
yeah, it's in English. It's basically it's they're putting their own spin on some of the preachings. You also notice a chest here.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, it's a little
zoom in a little bit here.
it's a little grainy because I had to make such a big map.
All right, I'll peek over at the chest and see if it's locked.
It is locked. It has got several iron bands around it that come together in one spot, and it's got a padlock on it.
Could be their cash box, or it could be something that they don't want the average Joe to see. Okay, well, I'll leave it for now,
Okay.
and then I'll go over and see if this was the thing with the blood in it.
Yep, that is the pool. A matter of fact, it's still reddish in tint. Give me a notice roll for examining that.
A 4.
As you walk over there, you kind of smell something, and it smells like wine.
Not like fried chicken.
No, it doesn't smell like fried chicken.
Huh. Okay. Do I have anything else that I can collect that in?
We'll say you have another bottle, yeah.
All right. Take another bottle or a little vial out and scoop up some of that.
All right. So so as you scoop it up, it smells a lot like wine. It's got the tendencies of wine.
Pretty whiny.
Yep, pretty whiny.
Other than that, nothing, huh?
Nope.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll take another peek at this lock and see how difficult that lock looks to be.
So that's something I haven't quite figured out about this game. Let's see what you have to roll to.
Yeah, because I don't have lock picking on B. I don't have a thievery.
Okay, so that I guess it would be under thievery.
Probably. I have repair, but I don't have thievery.
So if you want to try to unlock this, go ahead with the thievery.
Oh, so I gotta.
Yeah, just roll an unskilled roll.
So I have to go turn it from X to check mark.
No, just there should be a thing where it says unskilled.
Unskilled. Oh, okay.
Yep. So just roll that.
But that's not on my page. Okay.
Yep. So
Great.
as you start to go in, start to mess with the with it, you really don't. You're confounded. You stick a little piece of something out of your medicine bag in there and wiggle it around. And you're like, I don't fucking know how to do this shit. Just give up. And then you just kind of give up on it, and you're like, well,
Yep.
it's not as easy as it seems in the
Just
picture
by
book.
chance, Carlton's gonna look around on the floor, or is this like a rug that can be lifted up and look under there?
You didn't notice it, so no.
Okay. All right.
I see you accidentally popped it up on the screen. Y'all wasn't supposed to know about it, but you didn't notice it, so.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
All right. Well, I guess that's it.
Quartermain, what are you doing?
Quartermain has
Drinking?
gone back to his food.
Okay.
Just not really caring. The business is
All
taken
right.
care of. The battle is
Yep.
won.
And
Gonna do something.
the bartender, actually, Mr. Boggs, he says, "Well, for your help, Mr. Quartermain, I will gladly comp your room for tonight."
Thank you. Can I get some early morning libations as well?
Yes. Well, it's actually late in the afternoon, but yes, you can have it.
Well,
And he
feels
he
like
con- he
early
con-
morning.
And he goes and drops a shot glass and a bottle of whiskey. And he says, "I assume you prefer whiskey. Is that correct?"
Whiskey is my drink of choice, but these days I'll take almost anything.
So he drops the bottle of whiskey, and it's the good stuff. He drops it on the table for you. He says, drink what you want. If there's any left, I'll retrieve the bottle.
There won't be.
No,
And he'll just push away the shot glass and just start taking
drinking it
swigs.
from the bottle.
Yeah.
All right. So as you sit there for a while, one of the town folks kind of walk, or two of the town folks kind of walk up to your table, and can interest you in a card game.
For fun or for money?
And for money, of course.
Mm.
The only thing I do for fun is cross the road.
Well, then you're a fool.
Fools rush in. So,
But I would be willing to play a game. What are you playing?
well, so they start. He pulls out the deck, or actually, he walks over to the barkeep and grabs a deck of cards, and he says, "We'll play 7 card." So here's the way we're gonna do gambling in the game. If you have the gambling trait, you roll a gambling trait. If you don't have the gambling trait, you roll unskilled, and then you tell how much money you want to put up, and then the townsfolk will either match it or say it's too rich for them, and then you roll the gambling skill. And on a regular roll, on a success, you win whatever you put up, and whatever somebody else puts up. On a raise, then you win double what you put up.
I see.
So how much money you putting up?
I'll put 5 gold on the table.
$5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you bet $5, and they say, okay, we'll play for $5. So 30 minutes of card playing goes along. Yeah, the money switches hands back and forth, back and forth. Go ahead and give me a gambling roll if you have a gambling roll. Oh, a 7. All right. Oh, I gotta find my townspeople. Hold on. Townsfolk.
Nice roll.
So, and then that is not quite a raise, though. So let's roll their gambling roll. Okay, yes, right there. See if I don't even know if they got gambling. Let's see. Shooting, stealth, trade, common knowledge, nope, they do not. So where is the unskilled? Is there an unskilled on the short sheet anywhere?
No, I didn't see it.
No.
I had to go to the unlock.
Okay. So let's go with unskilled roll for guy number 1. Did he roll? Guess not.
Not yet.
No attribute. There we go. Oh, you beat him. Let's try the other guy. Uh-oh. I heard another die.
Ooh.
Just barely. So you win 10 gold.
Oh.
So you put 5 up, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So you win 10 gold.
Okay.
You not gold, dollars. Yeah.
Dollars,
Sorry.
yep.
So do you want to bet again, or
Quartermains will just thank you for your money, but I beg you, please leave it into my drink.
whatever? Don't give us a chance to win it back, then. And they go over here and they try to start up another card game with another person. Oh, we need a piano player too. He didn't die. So what's everybody gonna do? It's getting to be dark. The sheriff's kind of walking back to his place. The
Angus is gonna try to interrogate this guy.
which guy?
The guy I got the shotgun pointed at.
Oh, okay, that's fine. What do you want to ask him?
I want you to tell me why a preacher making people have bugs popping out of their chest.
Bugs popping out of their chest. What the hell are you talking about?
Like, well, you lie to me. I cock back the shotgun.
So you want to make another intimidation roll against him?
Exactly.
Okay. Go ahead and make another one then. Let's see what we got.
I got intimidation and persuasion.
Well, you can pick which one you want. I'm gonna lean more towards intimidation because you've already intimidated him, and persuasion would be that's no good. I mean, oh, that's a 1. That's a fail. So he well, let just for shits and giggles, let me make my spirit roll. There's already had it open. There he is. Just to make sure. He says, "Son," he says, "Sorry, sir, I don't know nothing, and shooting me is not going to make me remember anything."
So, all right then. Say goodbye to your head, and I act like I'm about to pull the trigger.
All right.
And I just release it back. I go,
okay. and he kind of falls to his knees. He's, "Oh, I thought I was dead, but I really don't know anything."
Excuse me, Colonel. Can I have a minute?
walk over there next to him.
All right.
What'd you find out?
Looks like a big tub of wine in there, but I'm not very good at picking locks. But there's a locked chest in there. If you want to try your hand.
Why didn't you just shoot the lock?
Guess I'm a little more finesse.
Oh yeah.
If you're going to be stealing, you just might as well be stealing.
Well, my aim wasn't to steal. My aim was to get some info.
Well, I ain't about to go into, even if it is a blasphemous church, I ain't about to go in there and steal nothing myself.
Yeah. Colonel Angus wouldn't steal from the church.
No.
Yeah.
Cause of thievery, and he's got a code of honor he's got to live up to. All right, so it's
Look
getting
here,
late.
Look here. Now, what they told me is these pastor folk and some of his cronies, they head out Monday night. What was it they said? They head out Sunday night?
Sunday night or Monday morning, and they don't come back till Saturday.
Really want to see what the hell they up to. Could hide and follow them up until wherever it is they're hiding out during the week and spy on them there and see what's going on.
Well, we were aiming to go up in the mountains anyway, right?
Yeah, only that their path with a paycheck at the end of it. This one does not. Still though, I like seeing townsfolk bugs busting out of their chest.
All right. So what are y'all? So y'all gonna go and to their little farmstead down at the bottom of town and kind of watch them roll out of town?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
We might need some horses though.
Y'all don't have horses, do you?
No.
Are y'all gonna grab Quartermain?
We currently don't have a Quartermain with us either.
Yeah, we'll grab Quartermain.
So y'all go back to the Boghole Saloon and tell Quartermain that y'all got a lead on something, but it's a non-paying lead, so it's up to Quartermain. Quartermain, you gonna go with him?
As long as there's a promise of a reward, then yeah.
Well, there is no promise of a reward because they're going after the two church brothers.
Promise you that we can loot anybody of any man we kill.
Are they bad?
Well, I think so.
It would seem so.
We're gonna find out for sure if we go up there in the woods and spy them.
I suppose
All
I
right.
can be accommodating.
All right. So y'all need horses, correct?
Yeah, maybe the sheriff can hook us up. Let's go check with him.
Well, there's a saloon. There's a stables over here.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
To rent a horse is $5 a day. $25 to buy one. But it's late
Quartermain will ask if there's a discount for a dead man's horse.
for a dead man's horse.
Yeah, those guys that had the bugs popping into their chests. They probably had something.
Okay. So number one, it's late at night. It's getting late at night. It's around. We'll say it's around 7:30, 8 o'clock. So you go knocking on the stable guy's door, and he comes up with his lantern. He says, "Yeah, what do you want?"
Horses.
Well, we got those, but people usually get them during the daytime hours when I'm not in bed. Come in. And so he rushes in. He said, "How many horses you need?" Ain't never one turned out $1.
Be for the three of us.
3 horses. You buying these horses, or are you gonna bring them back?
I'm gonna buy one.
I'm just going to take one.
You gonna take one?
Rent.
Okay. So $5 for the rental, $25 for the buying horses, and that comes with 1 day's worth of rations for the horse.
All right.
Quartermain will also rent.
All
I
right,
mean,
$5.
I'm gonna try to pick out a nice one that I buy.
All right.
Use writing skill to like praise which one's a good one.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I don't know what that's going to give you though, because I really don't have a stat block for these horses.
Okay. Well, just make sure it's not a bad one. That's all.
Yeah, let me look. Let me look for horses. Nope, you don't spell it with a U. Oh, there is horses. Well, what did you roll? So you rolled a regular. That horse is a little tiny horse. So that's your horse right there, and the other 2 horses. Oops. And then
right.
he says, "I'll bring them around." So you get on your horses. You don't have to get on them. We know they're your horses. You get on your horses and you ride towards the edge of town. Where's y'all's? I'm just gonna say we know that y'all are on a horse. There's Quartermain. Where you at, Carlton?
So
Are you okay? We're just gonna bring you. Oops. That ain't what I wanted. I'll bring you down. So you are right outside of the rental house for Brother Wise and Brother Strong. And you see them. They've got a little 2-wheeled wagon with a horse hooked to it, and they're throwing like bags of stuff in it, provisions. You see them loading up a tent and some other stuff in there. They have give me a notice roll so we can see who knows what, and it's going to be at a -2 since you're so far away and it's dark.
Oh, with that, well, one of the powers that I took is Farsight.
Okay.
I don't know how it works, but I'm gonna.
Well, let's look.
I'm gonna click it. No idea what that means.
Yeah, you have. I'll
Here we go.
Yep. Farsight allows a recipient. Farsight allows a recipient to deal. He lives 3 up to mile distant. With a raise, she also has range penalties for shooting. Okay. So you
I don't know what gets rolled.
Well, you already rolled it, didn't you?
What? No numbers popped up.
Huh.
I wonder if I need to hook it to my my wild or my mad
Well, no.
science. Oh yeah, because it says unskilled weird science. Why can I not? Oh, there we go.
Huh.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah, I guess you would do your weird science.
Fill notes with roll. All right, now let me try.
Do you think it would be your weird science, or do you think it would just be your notice roll, and then you would get?
Well, whenever I'm picking a power,
Yeah.
I mean picking a skill to go with it, I've got athletics, faith, focus, yada yada, weird science. Notices.
Oh, okay.
So I'm guessing weird science is like my spell casting
Okay, well, we'll do that then.
thing. Okay. Let me
All right,
try
so just
this
roll it.
again.
Let's see, Brandon Quartermain, you got a 9, and Angus got a 2. Angus, you don't see shit. So you actually see, both you and Quartermain. You see them, like I say, they're loading tents, and you see Brother Strong take this wooden box, and on the side of the box it says TNT. Excuse me, TNT on it. He also throws a plunger in there and some other stuff. He throws he's got another bag, and it seems to be dripping with blood. So you don't happen to know what that is, but it's a bag that's got just a bloody bag.
It's like some dynamite in a bag of yuck.
Yeah. So y'all they load up their thing, and they start heading out of town. Now, do you follow them, or what do you do? It's up to
I
y'all.
don't know. What's the plan, Colonel?
You might be
You
muted.
got your mute on.
Hey, sorry guys, I'm on the phone with my wife. Just give me just a minute, okay?
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So we'll wait on it. So your options are you can break into the house and rummage around the house, or y'all can
Yeah, that's probably what Carlton would do. He's more of a scavenger information gathering kind of.
Gotcha. So let me ask you a question. How many power points did that take away from you to do that?
I believe it is 1, but let me.
Okay.
2.
2. Okay, so go ahead and subtract 2 off of your power points.
Yeah, and I think I start with 15.
Yep.
Okay. Is that every day? Is that how it works? Okay.
I think is every day you have power points. Yep.
Okay.
All right, guys. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
All right. Well, you said he had a box of dynamite, and what else?
A bloody bag. A bag of it looked like it was dripping blood. Not dripping blood, but you could see where the blood has congealed in the bottom of the bag.
Mm-hmm. Carlton, I don't know how you can see that because I can't see shit.
Well, because Carlton. So basically, what you saw Carlton do. I don't know, Carlton. You explain how it worked. Is it some sort of gizmo that you have, or
Yeah,
is
he's
it...
got this. He's got this. Well, he doesn't have an eye on the right side, so what he's conjured or manufactured is this little slip-on thing that kind of almost the same shape as an eye patch thing, but there's like different colored lenses in there, and when he uses that, he uses his weird science thing to power it, and it transmits not an image, but basically a frequency straight through his missing eyeball into the eye socket to what he could see at whatever range.
So
do I see you fiddling with that like thing on your eye?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
So we'll say that you have like a little battery pack or some sort of mechanical device that
Well,
you
it's
actually,
probably like a ghost rock powered kind of
yeah,
contraption.
yeah. It's like a little box, probably about 6 inches by 6 inches, and
Yeah.
it's got wires coming from it, and you just take it and hook the wires up to your little eye patch thing that you got on your head, and you see it start glowing, and then it does what it does.
So if you look at my character sheet, there's a picture of Carlton with like a glowing eye. That's kind of what it looks like there.
Okay.
All right. So Carlton relays all this information back to y'all. So the question is, do you go and follow these guys, or do you go search their house?
Um,
I don't know
I
what we
think we
could
follow
find,
them.
but they might have taken the important stuff with them.
Carlton, do you think we could follow them at a good distance? Since you got your eye machine there, and
Yeah, if
that
it
way we
doesn't
could.
if it doesn't mess up, if I can keep it running right, yeah, we can keep an eye on them.
And that way, like, we don't get too close. They don't know that we're following them.
Do what I can.
Okay. I say that's what we do. Yeah. See where they go and then see if we can listen in on them talking or doing something nefarious and figure out what the hell's going on.
So y'all following them.
Well, if all
Yeah.
y'all agree. What you, Quartermain?
Yeah, I'm with you.
What character? Is your character not very talkative, or are you just like?
No, Quartermain is. He does things that need doing, but he doesn't.
How many
He's
how
not
many
super
sheets in
talkative.
are you?
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, guess that's what we're gonna do.
All right. So, what we're gonna do? We're gonna do some skill challenges then. To stay far enough away, I'm gonna need a stealth roll. We're gonna make three sets of 3 rolls. It'll be a stealth roll, a riding roll, and a notice roll each time.
Okay.
You have to pass at least 2 of the 3 and whichever one you fail, and everybody's got to make them.
Okay.
We get any?
So if you fail a stealth roll,
Mhm.
then they notice you following them. If you fail a riding roll, then they probably get away from you. If you fail a notice roll, then you probably lose track of them.
Is it like majority, like 2 out of 3?
Yeah, 2 out of 3. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not everybody, unless it's a crit fail.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yep. So 4. That's. Oh, wait a minute.
I was gonna ask you though.
I guess which one is which, right?
Wait a minute.
I'm gonna ask you though, if we get a little extra distance between us because of Carlton's farsight, do we get a bonus on any of those rolls?
I will give you a +2 to your stealth and a +2 to your a +2 to your stealth.
Okay.
And Carlton automatically you get to roll your weird science for your
Right.
notice roll. Okay.
Oh, for notice? Okay. Got it.
Yeah, because you're using your contraption, right?
Yep.
Wouldn't you say that's how that would work?
Yeah. I don't understand is it just turned on for the day, or how does that work?
I guess it's a concentration until you cast another spell.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, I'll just keep that on.
Okay. So Quartermain, your notice, you were able to track them. I'm guessing that second one is your stealth roll.
Mm-hmm.
But if we give them that a +2, then you're good. And then the other one is your riding roll. You're kind of riding, so you've got 1 mark against you as you're riding. With 3 marks, then your horse is fatigued. All right. With three failures, your horse will be fatigued. So,
Question. Wouldn't survival be more tracking?
Well, you're not really tracking them; you're noticing them.
Okay.
Yeah, you're
All right,
kind of like keeping an eye on them, going through the hills. All right,
Got
so
it.
that's Quartermain's roll. So everybody, give me your other rolls.
You want to
You-
notice or riding and what else?
Stealth.
Okay.
Get a +2 on stealth, and y'all don't have to make the notice rolls. Binks can
Okay.
make your notice rolls for you because he's
All
tracking
right.
with his eye.
Oh.
Yep, that's good. You managed to stay on your horse. Stealth. You get a +2, so you're good,
Hey, okay.
and you don't have to make the notice. So, all right, now give me a notice roll.
There's the weird science.
Yep, there you go. You were following them fine. Now I need a riding and a stealth.
Thing. 5.
Riding's good. No stealth.
Still. Come on.
Yep, good. All right. So y'all track them, and y'all go through right out of town, go through a little prairie for about 30 to 45 minutes. You notice as you go through this little prairie, there's a herd of buffalo over there, big buffaloes. And you kind of track them on down, and then y'all start to head up into the mountains. All right, give me your rolls again. Just give me Quartermain. Just give me a notice and a riding.
Okay.
Not a notice, a stealth and a riding.
Stealth and right.
Yeah, because Carlton's doing your notice. Okay, that would be your stealth, I'm guessing, or your riding.
Stealth first.
Okay, that'd be a 4. Since you're too far behind, since y'all so far behind, and then a riding.
That would be the 3, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. So both of those are good. Actually, no, you rolled. Wait a minute. You rolled a nat 1. Well, no, that'll be a 3. So that's. Did you fail your stealth or did you fail your riding? Because that 3.
Probably riding.
Does a nat 1, is it like D&D where it automatically fails?
Well, but he can use his wild dice.
Okay, so you can. So yeah.
But I don't think you get the bonus on your wild dice. But he's still got a. Oh, that's because it's unskilled. Okay, gotcha. We're gonna give him the bonus on the wild dice. Okay, Colonel Angus. Colonel Angus, riding is good. Stealth is good. And then,
Weird science for the notice.
yep, you made
A
it.
4.
It's not that great, but you made it.
And then what I need? Stealth.
Stealth and riding. Stealth is
5.
good.
And
So as you get a crit on that riding, y'all kind of you kind of catch up to him just a little bit. You find a different path where you can keep an eye on him as he's going up this mountain path, but you kind of find another path that goes up again. So they get a little bit higher in the mountain, and so this riding roll is going to be at a -2 because you were riding on these narrow trails in the mountain. So everybody, go ahead and give me your rolls again. Last thing of rolls.
and the writing is -2.
Yep.
Okay.
Colonel Angus.
3.
Yep. You're fine. That's a 3.
Mhm.
I mean, you failed, but your horse is fatigued.
Got a
Oh.
0.
So okay, hold on. The 4 is good for stealth. Carlton Banks, you have a 0 at riding. Now, this is a place where you can use a Benny or you can suffer the consequences.
I'd probably use a Benny because I haven't used it yet.
Okay, so you're going to use a Benny. So drag it out on the sheet, and that'll give you a pass on the roll. And Colonel Angus, your stealth is good. And
It's Suede.
Savage Worlds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Savage Worlds. Colonel Angus, your riding was a 3, so that fatigues your horse. And then your stealth is a 4, so you're good. Carlton, you need to give me a notice and a stealth. And then Quartermain's got to give me all of his.
Weird science.
That's good.
6 and stealth.
4. You good? All right. Quartermain, give me your rolls.
For all 3?
Yep. Okay. You failed. What roll was that? What was?
First one would be stealth, then riding, then notice.
All right. So, stealth you got. Riding you failed. Now, do you want to suffer the consequences, or you want to use a Benny?
I'll use a Benny.
Okay. Damn it! Nobody fell down the cliff. I just drag your Benny out on the board, and I'll take it.
Now, do we only get? Is it 3 bennies every time, or did we get more?
You get 3 Bennies every game.
Okay, so the first game we didn't start with any. We got 3 at the end.
No, you started with them in the first game too. So you should have 6 Bennies saved up if you didn't use any in game.
Oh, how do we add those?
But you don't add them. Just keep them in your mind. You get 3 a game, and if you don't use them at the end of the game, they get put in a little pocket that you can save up and spend them on stuff.
Oh, it's on the character sheet. I can
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So y'all follow the 2. You follow the 2 of them to the to their camp. Oops, I didn't put y'all on the map. Damn it. And by this time it is dark. So that should be on the map.
It's all black. I can't see anything.
Well, that's because it's dark. Did you? Who had a torch? Who was riding with the torch?
Can I see in the dark with my Farsight thing, or is that just what I can see?
Read it again.
Let me see if I can. Yeah, it just says I could see in detail. Sure, we got the moonlight somewhere.
Well, as y'all were riding, it started to rain, and it's getting a little wind, dark out, real dark out because of the overcast sky. Let's see, Brother Strong, and then. All right. Does anybody
Well, I
have a torch?
figure we could tie up the horses around here, and then we could sneak in on foot.
That sounds good.
And we don't really need it. I don't think we'll like. It's hard to see, but if they got a campfire going, we kind of know what direction we're going in at least.
Yeah. Do y'all see the campfire up there?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if y'all could see that or not. When
I don't see.
I see a torch.
I don't see Colonel Angus.
Oh.
I see myself. But
Yeah. So y'all were in the dark, so y'all can. I'll tell you what. Hold on. I'll tell you what I'll do.
Oh, I can see Quartermain because I have control over him. That's why.
Yeah. Give me a second. So is nobody carrying any kind of light source?
I don't have one on my inventory now.
Does anybody have any of them on the inventory?
Is that a thing that we could get?
Yeah, you can buy a torch. You can buy.
Yes, it is. Okay. Nope.
Nobody bought torches.
I really didn't buy anything.
Somebody bought a torch.
Okay.
And
well, preferably not me because I don't have very much money.
See, here's the thing: if we light a torch, they're going to see the torch.
Yeah, but if
True.
you don't light a torch, then you ain't gonna be able to see to get up there.
Wonder how far they could see a torch.
Well, I mean, y'all can just move independently.
I mean, can't we see the campfire and go in the direction of the fire?
Yeah.
Hopefully, there's no pit to fall in or something.
But the problem is y'all can't see each other.
Yeah. I mean, technically, the quarterman.
Yeah, well, you're not supposed
in
to. Be
in
able to see.
game, no, I can't see anything.
Let's see. Hold on. Let me fix Quartermain so you can't see him.
Do I? If I draw these bennies, will it replenish me to where I should be?
But you should. No, you're at where you should be. No,
Well, on here it says 2, but I should have 5.
you should have 6 because we played
Well,
3 games. This is the third game. So you should have 6 in the bank, and then you have 2 that you can use this game. And at the end of this game, these 2 will go into the bank
Oh, I get it.
Oh.
Okay.
to buy stuff with. You cannot buy attributes or stats or anything with these 2 until this game is over. And then they
Gotcha.
go into the bank and you can buy them from that. All right. So y'all move up how you want to.
Well, yeah, I don't have.
I don't know where I'm at.
Oh, you can't see your character?
No. Okay.
Why can't you see your character? You should be able to see your character. Hold on. Not vision limited. You should have vision. I'll tell you what. We're gonna say that you light a dim lantern.
You got a lighter on you or some matches or something?
Did that
Yeah, I
work?
got some matches.
Yeah, I could see him next to me.
I got a pipe and some tobacco and some matches.
There you go.
Yeah. So you lit a dim lantern. Quartermain has made his way up.
Oh, he's already gone, huh?
I'll stumble in the dark.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
stick with
Fumbling
you,
towards
Colonel
the light.
Angus.
Where am I?
You still can't see yourself?
No?
Hold on. Colonel Angus. You got vision. Let's go to details. Colonel Angus. Let me bring up your character sheet. There's that there. Edit. Can't be seen by Matt. Can be edited by Matt. There's something else I can do.
You ping the square so I can.
Hold on 1 second.
Hmm.
Shit, I just lost. Oh, hold on. I got F5 because I just pulled something off. I don't know how to get rid of it.
Be right back. 3 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, it's gonna take me a second to load back in. I just brought up the Benny counter and I can't get rid of it. Boy. Come on. Of course, it's gonna take it forever to load. I just don't know why you can't see your character though.
Well, in the meantime, Quartermain?
Mm-hmm.
If this looks like it's going to go to hell, you could always shoot that box of dynamite. As long as we're at a distance.
Well,
Do I have a
That would
direct
be
line of sight on it?
that would be a called shot. And I'll let you know if you can see it.
Okay, well, I'll take some time see if I can draw a bead on it.
Okay, so let me see if I can get Matt's card real quick. I mean Matt's character real quick. Oh shit, what is that? Okay, so Colonel Angus. Dynamic lighting. Yeah, you can't see your character? You should be right there.
Okay.
Look.
It just wasn't that far down. Yeah, no,
Okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I see
That's
him.
fine. I was wondering. All right. So, what do y'all want to do? Are y'all trying to sneak up on them?
Yeah, stealth up on him.
Okay. Well, give me a couple of stealth rolls.
I'm a ninja.
Oh yeah. With a 15. Colonel Angus, as you start to walk up, you trip over something and fall, and your gun goes off. Your shotgun goes off. Boom!
Yeah.
And unless you want to use a Benny. It's up to you. Uh-oh. He left. he was like,
that did it.
I've never made anybody rage quit like that before.
Well, he's still in the Discord.
You still there, Matt?
Maybe he ain't.
He blew his brains out.
He accidentally killed himself. Bang!
We'll give him a couple seconds to come back. Okay. Colonel Angus failed his stealth roll. We're gonna say you get a +2 to your stealth because it being nighttime. So you passed yours, but that still puts Colonel Angus. Well, actually, he got a wild die though. He got a 2 on his wild die.
Yeah, he had a 2.
Yeah, so we're gonna say he didn't. Well, he still stumbled. They still hurt him.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. No, I guess they didn't. Not at a 4.
Could have been a deer.
Yeah, they're aware of something out there,
Gotcha.
but they kind of look back, and then they're like, "Huh." Oop.
There he goes.
Yep. We'll give him a second. I'm gonna take 5 real quick.
All right.
Fill my glass up with water.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get a drink real quick.
I'll be right back.
Oh, you guys there?
Yep.
Sorry, my computer died on me. Ryan?
They're just going to the washroom.
Oh, okay. Hopefully I can spend a Benny. and avoid that happening.
All right, I'm back.
Can I spend a Benny to avoid that from happening?
Yes, you can to avoid from being seen.
Yeah, because that just blows everything that we did out of the water. So,
Yeah. So yes, you can use a Benny. So you succeed in your role. Just drag your Benny out on the stage, and I'll take it away.
all right. You drag your Benny up.
Just
Oh,
click
I
on
see.
it and pull it out. Just drop it on the board, and I can delete it.
I did.
I don't see it.
It's in the darkness.
It still shows you having 3.
Okay, let me try again.
Huh. I can't do it either.
There. See it now?
No, it's still. Oh, there it is, but it still shows you having 3. Let me see if I can delete it. I deleted it, but it still shows you as having 3. Just remember you have 2. For some reason, I should be able to do. Huh. See, I can pick his. I can pick Carlton's. I can pick everybody's but yours.
Hello.
Okay. So he used a Benny to
Unfail.
save that roll. Yeah. Recall all. And then I'm gonna deal them back out. So everybody gets 2, and then Quartermain, and then Quartermain will get 1 more. Correct? You haven't used any.
Yeah, I have.
Is that right? Oh, you have. So who hasn't? So everybody's used a Benny then.
Yep.
Except for me. Okay. So everybody give me a notice roll as you start to move up towards the encampment.
Can I still use my eyeball thing?
Yes, you can. Okay, so as y'all start to move up, you see these shadows slowly lumbering in between you and the campfire up above, up ahead. And the 2 brothers, the 2 preacher men, are sitting there unloading their provisions onto the ground. And it's not shown on the map, but I don't know if you can see back there, but there should be a cave behind them. And I don't, so the firelight would kind of outline the cave just a little bit. And they're unloading provisions, and they take something off the wagon, and they go into the cave, and they take something off the wagon, and they go into the cave. So move on up to wherever you want to, since you're going to be stealthy. Show me the way that you move before
I'm
you
gonna whisper
move.
over to Binks. Hey, you tell what they're doing?
Binks will tell you. Well, he'll tell you. I'll let you. You see them moving stuff into the thing.
Looks like they're taking stuff into some cave up there. They might be doing some blasting.
I mean, you can move. So is that where you want to move, Matt?
That was Quartermain.
No, Quartermain. I'm sorry. Is that where you want to move, Quartermain?
In general, yep.
All right. So we're gonna put you up here. All right. Anybody else want to draw me their movements?
Carlton's just following Colonel Angus, so.
All right. Is that where you're gonna move to?
Yeah.
All right. We'll put you there then. And then Carlton, you gonna move up with Colonel Angus? All right. Is that where we starting the thing then? I mean, what are y'all's plans? What's your plans of what y'all gonna do?
I want to get to the edge of, like, where you can kind of tell what they're doing and listening to what they're saying. just remain, hidden.
Okay, so is that where you're gonna stay though?
Oh,
You move up. You can move y'all. So y'all passed your stealth roll, so y'all can move anywhere you want to on the map,
okay.
up until you get into like the firelight. Then
So,
you
like,
have to
Uh,
make another
right
stealth
about
roll.
here.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned we saw some shadows between us and them.
Yep. That's one of
Like,
them
are they
right
like moving shadows?
there. They're like they look like humanoid figures, but they're not moving fast. They're just kind of like lumbering.
Oh no.
Like they might have some scouts or something walking around up there.
Yeah. There's some looks like some people walking around up there on the perimeter. So let's get a little bit closer because I can't hear what they're saying from here. I'm gonna get up, plan, move up to.
And then when everybody gets to where they're wanting to go to, everybody makes a notice check.
I'm gonna go about here.
All right. Oh, you want me to move? I can move about here.
Yeah.
All right. So if that's where everybody's going to go ahead and make me your notice check. Okay. Quartermain. You do not hear it,
3.
Carl. You do not hear it, Carlton. Quartermain, you hear it. And did you make one, Colonel Angus? Yes. Okay. So y'all hear in this area, you hear something lumbering there, you hear something there. Quartermain, you hear something back here and something over here. So, and as you're sitting there listening, you hear brother Wise say to brother Strong. He says, "Tonight's tonight. We're gonna find it, and then brother Grimm will once again be back with us after we get this, and then hold on, and Simon LaCroix's artifact. Then we will be on our way to bringing brother Grimm back."
Simon LaCroix.
Mm-hmm. Give me a common knowledge roll if you'd like about Simon LaCroix, the name Simon LaCroix. Okay. Did you make one, Quartermain?
No, Quartermain's is like,
No, he didn't.
I
Okay.
wouldn't know who that is.
Okay. So Simon LaCroix, Carlton Banks, is a very wealthy railroad baron. He owns the Bayou Vermilion, and it is based out of Louisiana. And with the raise, you know that there have been certain people that have accused him of voodoo magic.
Huh. Okay, so that's probably where I would know him.
Yes. Oh yeah. All right. So lightning strikes close by, and it lights up the sky. So I will do this for 1 second.
Blink. Blink, blink.
Yep.
All right. I turn around to Carlton Binks and I say, I hear some fellas shuffling around to the right and back on the left of us.
Yeah, it would make sense that they would have some help out here. They don't want them Aguilars getting whatever they're getting at.
So when the lightning flashed, and you could see that these things are starting to close in around you, and they're half skeleton with like meat just hanging off of them. They're like just like bloody bones is basically what they are.
Oh no, lady.
Okay.
Huh?
Oh no.
So okay, so we're gonna go ahead and go into initiative. As long as y'all are planning to attack. Are y'all planning to attack?
Well, I was just about to tell Carlton that I wanted to sneak up closer and then charge in and basically kill them, fellas.
Okay.
Do we see them like shuffling our way?
Yeah. So when the lightning struck, so lightning has been striking, and first
Yeah.
time lightning struck, you saw them. They were probably about 10 feet further back from where you are from where they are now. So
Okay.
it looks like they're every time the lightning strikes, they seem to be a little bit closer, and you can hear them getting closer. So y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and put you in the turn order just in case.
Well, I mean, regardless of
What about a check on if we know who Brother Grimm is?
Give me an occult roll, whoever's good with the occult or religion, either one. Carlton, you heard the name, Brother Grimm, and you vaguely remember it tied to Los Angeles, the city of Los Angeles, or something like that. Yeah, basically the equivalent of Los Angeles, California.
the only thing I know about him is he's from out of California.
The city of Los Angeles, I think had some sort of great calamity befall it, and there was a giant church built there, and the giant church kind of fell when an earthquake happened and destroyed all of its followers, all but a few of its followers. And you can kind of reckon that Grim, that Strong and Wise were two of Brother Grimm's acolytes.
And Grim got crushed in the church, I'm guessing.
All reports seem to lead to that. Yes.
Okay.
Los Angeles.
I thought he was dead.
They ever have people having bugs coming out of their chest over there in that city?
You wouldn't know about that.
That's why I'm asking them.
Well,
me, yeah.
Carlton wouldn't know about it either.
I have no idea.
That would be something that the agency would probably have kept under wraps.
I guess if I know that we're closing in, and I can see in their campfire that there's nothing right here anyway, say we make a break for those two idiots.
All right. Try to take them alive, okay?
Can only move like right here, and I can't see that.
All right.
Sneak up to the edge, and then when we're both ready, we'll run it, charge up in there, try to take them alive, okay?
All that. Okay,
What?
so I guess we'll mosey up closer.
All right, stop right there. As you get to right there, I tell you what, I'm gonna give you.
That's as far as I can see.
Can you see this?
No.
Okay. Well, so as you move up to there, you bump into to one of those things, and so since it took you by surprise, it's gonna attack before we roll initiative.
Rawr.
An 8. What is your parry?
Parry is a 5.
So it does not get a raise on you. Although 6. What is your toughness?
Toughness is a 5.
So you are shaken.
Ugh. Oh, sorry.
Nope, can't do that yet.
No,
So
I was trying to hit the button.
as you walk up there, you bump into it, and a claw just comes right across the side of your neck, and just opens up the side of your neck, and it doesn't do enough damage to really wound you, but it caught you by surprise, and you are shaken.
Shaved me.
Yep. So we are going to deal some cards. Do you give me a spirit roll real quick to see if you let out a yell when he's
Ooh. 5.
you should be more than a 5 though, right? Maybe not. So no, you because you use all of your spirit to try to hold back that yell because it was so painful, but you know you're trying to be quiet as you sneak up on these guys. You just kind of push the thing off of you and hold back the yell. All right. So, do y'all want to deal the cards or y'all want to? I say we deal the cards.
Yeah, probably should.
Well, we should just shoot the dynamite right now.
All right, Quartermain, you would be going first.
So Quartermain can't see any of this that's happening, really?
Okay, so lightning strikes, and so lightning will illuminate for a second that there is one right beside him. So I will give you a -1 on the attack roll just because you knew where it was when the lightning struck. So you took aim at that point, and that goes for all the attacks this round.
Okay. So I guess I'll try and attack this one?
No, this one. Okay, that's fine. Yep. So you're shooting.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That hits.
Nice shot.
That hits with a raise, I believe. Yep. So you do 9 damage to this guy, and so as you do it, you kind of hit in the chest plate of it, and when you do, it blows the chest plate of that thing wide open, and it just crumbles to the ground. Damn it! I hate that. There we go. Colonel Angus.
All right. Gonna just run out there and charge this fella with his saber.
This guy here. All right.
Yeah. Do I get any kind of thing for surprise?
Um, we'll give you a +2 on your attack.
Okay. But why do you use a Benny? Do I have to announce it before the roll?
Well, I mean, what are you going to use it for?
I'm gonna try to run up and knock him out.
All right. So,
But like I'm gonna hit him with like punch him with the hilt, the saber, you know, the
that's
thing
fine.
that goes over the fist.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so you cannot use a Benny in that aspect. You can only use
Okay.
a Benny on a failed roll.
Yeah.
So if you fail the attack roll, then yes, you can use a Benny to succeed in the attack roll. But you can't
Right.
use it for damage.
The part of the metal saber that goes over the outside of the knuckles,
Yeah.
that's what he's gonna punch. He's gonna punch him in the nose with that, try to knock him out.
That's fine. That misses. So
But now I use a Benny.
Okay, to succeed that roll, go ahead and drag it out. It won't let me. It still didn't take it away though. It's weird. Okay. And for some reason, I can do everybody else's but his. But yeah. All right. So you succeeded. So go ahead and roll damage.
All right. Since I'm going for a knockout effect, is that just determined by how much damage it is?
So people that are not wild cards, people that are wild cards are story based NPCs have 3 wounds. So this would be this would be the 3 wound. You would have to get 3 wounds on him to do it. Still can't do that. Wow.
16.
Oh. No, it won't be 16 because you don't get the bonus damage.
Oh, why not?
Oh, the Benny's not like an automatic crit thing or anything.
Okay, we'll say it is. So 16. So his. Actually, you know what he's gonna do? He's gonna use a Benny to. I'm using one of my Bennies.
Ooh.
To soak that damage.
And how does that work? Is it
Soaking all
Benny-
16 points.
Yeah.
to knock out all the
basically-
damage?
Yep, it knocks out all the damage. I mean, it's a Benny, so
Huh.
so yeah. So let me look because there's a button on there to soak. Where's it? There it is. Soak. Oh, he didn't soak it. Oh, yeah, he didn't soak it. So he takes that damage, 16, and his toughness is a 5, so that's 2 raises. So he has 2 wounds. He is shaken and has 2 wounds, but I will use the other 2 bennies to take those away.
So is the Benny just for a chance to soak?
Yeah, and he didn't.
Huh.
So he's gonna use So I've used all my bennies, but he's gonna soak. He is going to get rid of the wounds. So he's down 2. Well, let's see. I think I can roll conviction. That doesn't do anything. Okay, so yeah, I just used 2 bennies. And he doesn't have 2 wounds anymore. So as you walk up and punch him in the face with your saber,
Mm-hmm.
it hit, blood goes everywhere, and he stands up and he says, "What does he say?" He doesn't say anything because it's not his turn. So, whose go is it? The bloody one's go. And Carlton, you are going to get attacked 3 times by the bloody ones.
Well, that doesn't sound very nice.
That hit.
That do hit.
What is your?
My parry's a 5.
Okay, so he only does 4 damage. What's your toughness?
5.
Okay, that doesn't do anything. The second one. That doesn't hit. Third one. That doesn't hit. All right. Brother Strong. So as Brother Strong, he runs and jumps behind this box here, and you see him reach over to the side, and that box is going to grant him half cover, so a -4, and he reaches over to the side, and you see a little flicker of light. And you actually hear.
Yep.
And he's going to throw it. And he is going to throw it. Hold on. Where is it, Brother Strong?
Now, with a name like Strong, is he actually that strong? Can he throw very far?
Oh, wait, that's the damage. I don't. Oh. So he goes to throw it, and he fumbles the fuck out of it. And he drops it right in the other thing of dynamite. And it's going to go off next round if he doesn't pick it up. Brother Wise sees the guy that just assailed him, and he uses Thunderclap. Oh, it doesn't say what it does. Okay, so I got to figure out what it does. Must make vigor rolls or be shaken with a raised vigor. So I got to roll spirit for Brother Wise. Spirit. Oh no, it'd be faith roll. Faith. And that is not a raise, but I need Colonel Angus, I need you to make a vigor roll. So
Big roll.
yep. So Brother Wise takes out his hand, goes to his hands, and he says, "If you happy and you know it," and he claps his hands, and it sounds like thunder going throughout the camp.
And is vigor a?
That's your
I
action.
see it.
Top.
Let's see.
You passed. Okay. Carlton.
Okay.
Deal new cards.
I don't want to get hit anymore, so Carlton's gonna run up
You're gonna have 2 actions this round.
here
Alright.
next to this bundle of sticks. I'm gonna have 2 actions.
Well, you go.
Oh,
first
one
next
right
round.
after the other.
Yeah.
And guess I'm going to, or he's gonna try to shoot at the guy hurling dynamite. You said he's got a, I'd have
Well,
a -4 to hit him.
He tried to throw the dynamite, and he
Oh, I need to
missed, and it
unshake.
dropped.
Sorry. I gotta unshake before I move, or can I move and unshake?
You can move, but you just can't take actions, I believe.
Okay. Let's see. Hey. And now I can act, or I have to wait till.
You can act, and
Okay.
you get your normal actions.
But I can't aim because I move.
Yep. You have to take an aim.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I guess I'll shoot at him twice.
Oh, twice. You take a -4 on.
Oh.
Are you shooting at him twice?
No. Did it take my action to unshake for the last one?
No, you should have been able to unshake. I don't know why. Did you unshake yourself?
I unshook, but I think you reset the turn order before I took my action.
Yeah, well that's just your first action. That was from the last turn. So you get 2 turns. So you moved, you unshook, and then you shot, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so that shot hits.
Okay.
Oh, actually, wait. 4 and 4. Yeah, that shot hits.
So there's.
That's 6 damage. That does not hit. That graces him and does not hit.
So I didn't get a raise on him.
No, that because you got a
Okay.
-4.
Oh, it's
So-
not a raise on the die. It's the raise over his.
Yeah, it's got to be 4 over whatever it is to hit him.
So that would have been 6. Okay.
Yeah.
So 6 damage.
Does not hit.
Okay. And
I mean, it does hit, but it doesn't.
not
hit.
enough to do anything.
Yeah.
Try it again. For this round,
That
that
does
would
not
be
hit.
a 5.
Yeah, does not hit.
And then for this round, I also want to get away from those people. So I'm gonna run up here next to him.
All right.
I
Quarterback.
think that'll be it.
Seems like they left you back there to deal with the bloody ones in the dark. Nonetheless. Quarterback. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. I'm just...
This was the one that tried to throw the dynamite, right?
The
yes,
one, the black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah, the black one.
Okay, well. We'll try and
You're
move
gonna
a
have
little.
a -4 on your shot because he's hiding behind cover.
Okay.
Okay, wait a minute. Well, it's not their turn, so I can't do anything.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take the -4.
All right.
But
Let's see what you got.
yeah. Six.
That hit. See what kind of damage you do.
11.
So this is gonna suck. All right. So 11 damage. So that's 5. So he is shaken, but not stirred. Brother Strong is shaken. Colonel Angus. And you have one more move. You can, well, you already moved, so you can reload, I'm guessing. Right? Okay. Colonel Angus.
All right. Well, I saw this fella drop that dynamite into the box, right?
Yep.
With the other dynamite.
Well,
And then I saw that fella get shot.
You don't know where the other dynamite is, but you saw him drop the dynamite
To that box. Okay. Well, still, I'm still close enough for one stick of dynamite to hurt me, ain't I? Yeah.
You would assume yes.
All right. So I'm like, Beaks, look how he dropped that dynamite. And I'm going to take off. Come back this way. Guess this is far enough.
6 inches.
And is that far enough, do I think? I'm a man of war. Do I know what dynamite can do?
Hold on, let me put a radius on him because he dropped it at his feet.
Let's say it's like right there. That's not good.
So that's the effect of the but yep, okay. So yeah, you ran back far enough, Colonel Angus.
Okay. Now I'm ducking behind a tree.
All right. The bloody ones go.
Just to let everybody know, probably after this round, like, I'm falling asleep right now.
That's fine. I figured you was having some trouble. So 2 going to Quartermain. 2 attacks going to Quartermain. The 8, I'm assuming, hits.
Mm-hmm.
And the 5, does it hit also?
5.
Your
For my parry, I'm fairly certain it does.
It does. All right, so does 5 hit your toughness? And 4, does it hit your toughness?
Hold on. Oof.
Should be able to tell. It doesn't show on your thing. And
I'm so tired. I'm just, like, my vision's getting blurry.
That's okay.
My parry is a 4. My toughness is a 5.
So neither of those hit your toughness, so you're not shaken.
Okay.
Now, Colonel Angus, a 5 and an 8 to hit your parry.
Okay. Well, my parry's a 5.
Okay, so the 8 hits. And I'm sure 3 doesn't hit your toughness.
No, I have a 5 toughness.
All right. So, Brother Strong.
Here we go.
The dynamite blows up and does, I think it does 3d20 worth of damage.
Jeez.
Let me make sure. Dynamite once. Well, okay, we're going to say There were 10 sticks in the thing. It's a 6-inch, so yeah.
Did you get a chance to run away when I yelled?
Let's see what one stick of dynamite does.
Probably not very much. I mean,
It does. It is. I think it's 3d20 though, but it doesn't say. It's plus 2 damage. So we're gonna say, well, I'm just gonna look at it on this thing because I saw it somewhere else. All right, we're just going to roll the damage. All right. So 11 damage to everybody in the circle. And then it sets off the other thing. So we're gonna roll the damage for that too. So the damage is going to be 34 damage. And I'm out of bennies.
Okay. So there's no parrying. This is just straight up damage.
Yeah, it's a blast radius.
I'm
There is
gonna
no parry.
parry an explosion.
Okay, so
I am.
well, I didn't know if parry acted as like a dodge or
No, not on
to
this.
jump out of the way or anything.
Not on this.
So if there's 34,
Yep, 34 damage.
does a Benny just eliminate all of that?
You have to, if you soak, you roll to soak. If you get a 4 above, you eliminate all the damage. Basically,
So I have
you do some sort of acrobatic feat or jump behind cover or something like that.
So
But
that's
Maybe
spending.
he just like a somersault, out of
Yeah.
the blast radius.
Yeah, exactly.
That's spending a Benny to soak, right?
Yep.
Okay. So there's my Benny. Hits the soak button.
Yep.
Oh,
3.
You
So
got
what does
another-
the 3 do?
It does not soak the damage. You got to get a 4 or better. You have another benefit.
Okay, I do. I think. Yeah. Can you
Good
spin
Benny.
2?
Yep, you can spend as many as you want. You can spend them till you out.
Well-
Other people can give you their Benny.
I don't want to.
Anybody want to give him a Benny?
Well, if I have a toughness of 5
Okay.
and that would be what, like 5 wounds?
Yeah, you would die. You would be incapacitated, and then we'd have to start on the incapacitated rules. Somebody else giving another Benny for him?
And I don't have a chance to do one of my powers, or
No.
because it's
I
not
think I'm supposed to be.
my turn.
I think I'm supposed to be out of bennies, aren't I?
Did you?
Because I had 6 coming in, and I spent 5 to get my strength up. 1.
Yeah. Well, those bennies can't be used in a game.
Those are
Okay.
banked Benny.
Those are bank bennies.
Okay.
The ones that you got 3 starting this game.
Okay, so I've used 2 so far, so I got 1 more left.
Yes.
So I'll give it to him.
No, I have
Alright.
2 left. That way
Okay.
you have 1 left and I have 1 left.
Okay. So roll it again. See if you live.
Oh,
Don't waste
lucky,
my
lucky,
gift.
lucky. Right, exactly. Where'd it? Soak.
There you go.
Oh,
So
thank goodness.
as the explosion goes off, you see Carlton Banks do the action movie dive out of the explosion and roll, and you actually rolled over to here and hit this thing. Which does knock the breath out of you and causes you 1 fatigue since it took so many bennies to do. But where Brother Strong was just seems to be a pink mist, and Brother Wise is also decimated. You've killed both of them.
Well, he killed them.
Yeah, that was a hard. This was supposed to be one of the coolest battles, and they fucking dropped a piece of dynamite. So you can, as you go, and I'm assuming you're examining what's left of the corpses and stuff.
Right.
Okay. As you examine the corpses, there is a key. What money they had on them is just kind of everywhere.
What
But in
what happens to these guys now that they're
shit, we're-
obliterated?
they still fight.
Probably-
Actually,
They're still fighting, or do they get like terrified of that giant explosion?
They're
are
probably
not.
mindless, but I
Yeah,
don't
they're
know if they were
mindless.
like actively under control or if
But
it's
we're
just
gonna,
like
yeah, we're gonna say they just stop. They just completely they fall apart.
huh.
It kind of puts a damper in my story now, but we'll find what else we ought to do. Because these guys are actually supposed to get away and be the. I'll think of another protagonist or antagonist. But anyway,
is there a body left at all for this
not
guy?
for brother, not for Strong, but for Wise there is.
Okay. I'm going to go up to Wise
Mhm.
and pull out this collar. Weird kind of looking clamp on metal collar with little glowy attachments on it.
Okay.
And I'm gonna
And they say they were looking for like some kind of artifact from Simon LaCroix.
No, they were looking for an artifact, and they said Simon LaCroix had another artifact.
Okay.
You would assume that they were trying to assemble all of these artifacts.
I see.
But I tell you what, let's stop right here since everybody's kind of
Mm-hmm.
getting sleepy, and we will catch up tomorrow. I mean, not tomorrow. Next week. Sound good?
Yep.
Everybody be able to make it next week.
All right.
Shouldn't be a problem.
let me double check. I think so.
Would Eric be? Isn't Eric the other guy?
No, actually, I'm
You're out of town next week.
going out of town next weekend. Yeah.
Okay, so we want to just put it off for 2 weeks then.
Okay.
That sound fine with everybody?
Yep.
Everybody
Yep.
still having
Fine with
fun?
me.
You sound like you just had a rough day, Carl. I mean, Brandon, Steven.
No, it's just been like starting a new job, and it's just like
I guess.
hard.
I mean, you're still having fun
It's
playing
kind of
the
like
game,
hard
right?
labor. And I'm just like
Yeah.
exhausted
Yeah.
from the week.
I understand. Believe me, I understand. But you are still having fun, correct?
Yeah, I'm just
Okay.
exhausted.
I got you. So
Simon,
who's carrying
I'm gonna
what
hop
bennies
off.
over? All right.